She said, I call you back, call you back. She said, I call you back in a minute. She said, I call you back, call you back. She said, I call you back in a minute. You don't mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say. You don't mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say. Close my eyes, I'm broken glass, I'm broken glass. She on my mind, she on my mind. She always goes, she always you give me nothing, she gives me nothing. There'll be some pieces, she had my heart, she had my heart. Too close to love. You don't mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say. You don't mean what you say. Close my eyes, I'm broken glass. She keep me grounded, not for more. She give me nothing, but bits and pieces. She had my heart, too close to love, too close to love. She said, I call you back in a minute. She said, I call you back. She said, I call you back in a minute. Just 1 second, honey, yeah, do you miss me? You don't mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say. You don't mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say. You don't mean what you say. Close my eyes, I'm broken glass, I'm broken glass. She on my mind, she always goes, she always. You give me nothing, there'll be some pieces. She on my heart, too close to love, too close to love. You don't mean what you say. Call you back, call you back. She said, call you back. She said, call you back, call you back. She said, call you back. You don't mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say. You don't mean what you say, mean what you say, mean what you say.
Well, those that don't know, that's super sexy. It's my 1970 Nova. right out of storage, so it needs a bath. Yeah, for those who don't know, this is my 70 Nova. I call it super sexy. It's black on black on black with some chrome. But yeah, this is kind of my go uptown and try to look cool car. It's a cruiser. It's got 373s in it. Mild small block. It's made to just kind of cruise down the highway and around town. It's still got enough power to burn some rubber and stuff, but we got to take it to its new home, so let's do that. Actually kind of quiet compared to my other ones. It's got some pretty big turbo mufflers on it, so maybe we'll roll your window down a little bit. Just getting started. it's super quiet. It's kind of just my cruiser. It actually kind of rides like a Cadillac. It's not set up very stiff. It's a nice riding, driving. Got to do some rear brake work to it. So that'll be in an upcoming installment. And it'll probably be out in some other videos of the car cruise nights and stuff. But this one's pretty cherry. There ain't much really left to be done on this car. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't mind like the bump and run motor I got is a matching numbers for this car, and it'd be a lot more snotty than this. And I wouldn't mind putting an overdrive in it just to make it even that much more of a driver. This thing gets like 16 miles at the gallon. It's reliable. It runs nice. You can't really beat it with a stick, really. Yeah, this thing here is kind of my baby. I can't sell this one. I'll never get another one. I've always wanted one of these. Like I said, this one's done up nice. It's got tinted windows. I love the vinyl top. So yeah, there's more to Habitual than we've seen yet. But just a nice clean car. Always got to be doing maintenance. Nothing ever seems like it just keeps working, you know what I mean? Well, we got to get this out of here, so let's see if she'll crank over, shall we? Where do you suppose the key is? I think I found it. Means it's getting fuel. Whoop, had it reversed. into my other house the other night, and I was tired and I was off of work. My pickup just drove me back to my old home. See, I know I was driving by. I think it was on Easter. There's all kinds of vehicles and stuff there, and I'm like, oh, wrong house. Old habits die hard, I guess. Wonder what old Eddie's doing today. He's got the Camaro over there. Jesus, I better pay attention. Thing needs a little bit of a torque converter put in it. It kind of pulls at a stoplight. I think it's just got a stock converter in it. It'd probably be happy having a like a 2000 2500 stall converter. This little truck is fun though. It's not a huge horsepower machine, but back in the 80s we could pretty much wipe up anything on Main Street with it. Much throttle to get the old girl going. Still smells like bananas. I put some Banana Blast in my gas tank. I think it's awesome. It's like $10 for a little jug of it. I think I get like one tank of fuel with it, but I don't know. Having it smell like bananas is priceless. You know what I mean? Where should I go? I think the blinkers even work. I think my buddy Kyle's behind us, the guy with the Flirting with Disaster. Runs a lot cooler now that I put that other radiator and stuff in here. Well, we might go out cruising tonight. Shit. That'd be kind of cool little part of the video. I think he's gonna get his rat rod out again, so maybe I'll take this out and he's gonna shoot me a text, let me know kind of what's up. But yeah, this is my little hacienda. I gotta paint the house. Man, sometimes it looks like fuchsia, sometimes it kind of looks like it's tan. This is actually just kind of an older trailer with a nice addition put on it, but you know, it's got 4 bedrooms and it's a pretty good little bachelor pad for what I'm doing, so. Turn signal on. I got him. But I guess I could go in and show you part of the house anyway. It's kind of a mess. I've been moving. Gotta make sure you get one of those. But yeah, I've been moving in. I've got my plaques hung up from all my bump and run days. I've brought over some of my trophies from when I was racing back in the day. There's the fam, the kids. That's actually my grandfather. See any resemblance? I kind of can. He's doing the Amish thing there a little bit, but here's kind of my wall of just cool stuff. I'm gonna go with a little bit like a Viking Gothic theme, I think. This here is kind of a disaster, but this is kind of my Indian table. I've got my cool lamp. That was my late sister's. And I've just been hanging some stuff up. I really like playing darts, so I'll sit and play solitaire darts by myself. And I've rigged up my stereo and everything over here, and this is kind of my jam session place. You know, I've always wanted to almost play drums. I think I'm gonna get a bass. Music's pretty important to me. I really like it. I've got the old accordion out. I've even kind of been playing with it a little bit, just playing different tunes and whatnot. There's a bedroom in here, all full of crap. I got guitars and stuff in there, but up in here is my living room. I'm rearranging and doing stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I got kind of a neat little island and stuff in here, and I don't know. It's just home. I like it. It suits me. I got kind of an open floor plan, so it's a good bachelor pad. Got me a fire I can sit by and my cool little rocking chair over here, and just chill out and contemplate the world. Sometimes a guy needs to do that. But yeah, this is home sweet home now. All right, hope you like the tour. So, rebuilding yourself isn't easy. And finding yourself. I've been at it for the last 9 months. And as painful and as lonely as it is, it's also been very beautiful. I have a peace now that I haven't had in a long time. I've always been in some kind of a relationship, I think since I was 18. And I don't know that I chose this even. It was kind of just thrust upon me. After I had my near-death experience and I came out of it, it was kind of like I got to see through the curtain. I got to see what was actually behind the stage. And it's kind of like once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's always there. And it made me reevaluate a lot of things in my life. You're kind of like the person that, you know, the fair comes to town, but they got it all covered up because they want to surprise you. But you're one of those individuals that doesn't really like surprises, so you go look underneath the tarps and you know that there's a merry-go-round and a fun house. And the merry-go-round's all fun, it's lit up, everybody's smiling, taking videos of themselves, and I've been on that merry-go-round for 30 years. The only problem with that is You get on and you go for a ride and you really feel like you're doing something. But when it's all over with, you come off of it at the same place you went on. Only thing is maybe you're a little dizzy and sick from the experience. The Funhouse is a 10-acre maze with a disclaimer sign at the front of it that says, "Warning, you might be lost here for years." There's mirrors and lights. You can hear people crying and yelling inside. But when you come out of it, if you can find your way, you've experienced something that everybody else on the merry-go-round doesn't really seem to ever want to face up to or can't. And I think I was in the Funhouse the last time, probably in my teenage years. Bucking Authority. Wanted to just be an artist. I wanted to play music and be a rock star. I wanted to drive cool old cars and I had a sense of what I thought life would be like and what I could do to make it beautiful. But as you get older, you kind of lose that childhood quest for life. You start becoming molded into what society, what the norms are. You start doing the responsible things to be a good person, I guess, in the eyes of the machine. So I'm back in the Funhouse. There's a million doors, an endless maze. And my hope is that I'll find a door that says chance on it. And inside that door, I'm going to meet somebody else that's also in that Funhouse. Somebody that's been awakened. Somebody that has ain't scared to take the plunge. Somebody who's willing to know themselves inside and out so that when you two meet, there's nothing left but the museum to go see. You don't ever probably want to really get back on the merry-go-round. And when you make it through the Funhouse, maybe you'll never go back to the Funhouse or the merry-go-round. Maybe you'll just go to the museum, holding hands, appreciating beautiful art together, sharing experiences and just time together. But to do it with a deep, meaningful, soulful person. And to leave kind of on a high note, something else I'd like to say is, if you're in this situation of finding yourself and trying to become aware, consciously aware of who you really are, I was having some problems. I wasn't really great to myself here the last couple weeks. I put some time and energy into some people I probably shouldn't have. And I had some stuff to do, so I just went over to my dad's house and didn't call him, didn't, let him know I was coming. And I just knocked on the door, and he was sitting there in his bathrobe, kicked back in his chair, and he's waving me in. He's got a race on the TV, but he's got the sound muted, so it's just quiet. And I went in and sat down, And he asked me how I was doing, and I kind of told him the truth. And he looked at me and just said, "Son, I've been where you're at." He's 87 years old. He's had 3 different widows in his life. He's lost half his children. The guy has created and lost businesses. And every day he gets up and has a routine that he does. He gets up and takes care of himself and, shaves and showers and gets his meds in. And he goes out to coffee with like 7 or 8 of his buddies every day. They sit and have coffee around a table, at a cafe or wherever. He has a girlfriend that lives right next door to him. They met the old-fashioned way. They were neighbors. He did some stuff with her, and they're a cute little couple. They enjoy each other's company. They're excited to go do things together. They go out and socialize and have dinners with other couples. And he also will just drive around and go to shops because they're working on different things. And he loves to learn. Every day he gets up and tinkers with stuff on his own in his shop. He doesn't have YouTube. He doesn't have things to show him how to do it. He does it the old-fashioned way. He does it by trial and error until he figures it out. And, I got to thinking as I was talking to him, he's living a better life than almost anybody I know. And he told me that. He said, "Son, I'm probably in one of the best positions I've been in my life. So don't give up. There's beautiful things out there." And to look in his eyes and see at 87, the curiosity and just the zest for life. I mean, he goes out in nature. He walks around the lake. I get on YouTube and I'm trying to do all this psychology stuff and find myself. And all I really got to do is drive across town. I've got the best example of one of the strongest men I've ever seen. He's had to pick himself and rebuild himself and deal with tragedy and trauma. And I'm sure it's not easy for him now. But he gets up every day just to go out and live. So after I left his house, man, I just felt, like I said, 20 hours of YouTube psychology wouldn't have covered that 30-minute talk I think I had with him. So that's where it's real. And you got to find, like I said in my other video, I guess this is kind of an ending to that, is you got to find real people and stay kind of local. The rest of the day I went out and I just tried to take that with me. I talked to the cashiers. He had his hands all bandaged up. He was trying to pull my sacks open. He's having trouble. And I asked him, I'm like, "Man, what are you doing to yourself?" And he'd severed some fingers. And it's a Saturday before Easter. I'm sure he's not thrilled to be there. And I just told him, "Relax, dude. Take your time. I'll help you sack it up." It's, let them talk to you. Don't stand there and ram your cart into the counter and stare at your phone and act like they're, just a peasant to serve you. And I did it at the next store as well. I was walking around getting my couple weeks supply of groceries, so I had quite a bit of stuff in my cart. And I didn't want to go through the self-checkout, because it takes people's jobs away. And if you're buying anything that's adultish, you got to have somebody come over anyway. And so they rang a guy up overhead on the thing, and he came busted in there, saved the day, you know. And you could see he was kind of frazzled. He's probably got 3 other projects going on in the back. They're calling him up to the front. It's a full service supermarket, so they're supposed to sack your stuff up. So he's worried. He's trying to get somebody on the phone to get a hold of me. And I'm like, you know, man, does this happen often? Are you cool? Just, you know, how's it going today? And box boy was on break, and I just walked around the counter and just started sacking up my stuff. I'm like, I got you, man. I do this all the time. I'm fully capable. You know, you're not there to be a burden in somebody's life. You just got to go out and meet people halfway. And I think if you do that, I think you'll be pretty fulfilled in how it turns out. So that's my goal. That's what I'm going to try to do more of. The cruises will be that way. My relationships that I'm trying to make in my life will be that way. And just because you've seen through the curtain doesn't mean that you still can't talk to the people on the merry-go-round. They're still people. Don't think of yourself as some higher, mighty thing because you feel like you've got some kind of depth of what you're going through and that you're the only one and it's making you this supreme being. I mean, we're all human still. And whether you choose to go down that path or not, I don't know. Maybe the guy that's on the Ferris, you know, the merry-go-round for 50 years that gets off and just doesn't even look at the fun house. Shit, maybe he's figured it out. I don't know. I just know for me that I had to go see what it was like. I had to put myself in there. And it makes you vulnerable. It makes you kind of just say distant, I guess, from some of the people because you've got to kind of tear yourself down to bare bones. Figure out what the hell's going on and then build it back up into what you know is your true self. And as hard as it is, it's been a beautiful thing. So don't forget about the old timers. I mean, they're not licensed therapists, but like I said, I got more out of that. It was the best gift I've had, you know, that week. I looked at my screen time. I had 10 hours on my phone pretty much every day, texting and talking and stuff that never really worked out, never panned out. It was time that I could have spent building the Camaro, doing some other things. But just keep that in mind. It's never really too late, and it's never really something that you can't do, you know. But yeah, let's get off of here. I think that's probably good enough. I think we'll go get some more stuff, and I'll video maybe just kind of driving them in. But I wish you guys all the best. I used to say health and happiness, but I don't wish bad health on anybody. But sometimes happiness might be a stretch. Some of the people I've ran into lately, one in particular, I don't know if they deserve happiness. So, my new slogan, I think what I'm going with, is be the hero of your own movie. And if people don't like it, tough shit.